Hello and welcome. In the last few lessons, we have discussed the different lookup functions such as VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, index, and match. We learned that we can use these lookup functions to locate or fetch specific values from big data tables. We also learned that the VLOOKUP and the HLOOKUP function have a slight shortcoming that they can only look for the lookup value in the first column or the first row of the data set. So in this lesson, we will learn how we can overcome this shortcoming by using the index match function instead of VLOOKUP. This example should look familiar to you. We have a data table which contains the serial number, name, address, and phone numbers of all our contacts. Now the objective here is slightly different. We have a phone number and we need to find out who owns this phone number. So let's try doing this using the VLOOKUP function. So I write equal to VLOOKUP. Now recall that in VLOOKUP the first argument is the lookup value, which in this case is the phone number. The second argument is the data table. And remember, the first column of the data table must contain the phone number, because VLOOKUP will only search for the lookup value in the first column. Now if you look at this table here, you would notice that it is not possible to select a data table whose first column is phone number and that also contains the name column. So you would realize that using VLOOKUP, it is not possible to look up for values which are to the left of the lookup column. Therefore, this particular exercise cannot be done using the VLOOKUP function. Now let's try to do this using the index and match functions. Recall from the last lesson that we can use the match function to find out the location of this phone number in this column. So let's write the match function as follows. Equal to match. Now the first argument is the lookup value, which in this case will be the phone number. The next argument is the lookup array. And remember that this has to be a one-dimensional array. So in this case, this argument would be the column containing all the phone numbers. And the last argument is for an exact or an approximate match. So we enter 0 for exact match. And when you press enter, you can see that this particular phone number is present in the 8th row of this column. Now we can use this information to find out who owns this phone number, and we can do that using the index function. So I write equal to index. Now the first argument is the data table. So we can provide this entire table as the argument. The second argument is the row number, and we have that information already from the match function above. And the third argument is the column number. Since we need the name which is present in the second column, the column number should be 2. And now if I close the bracket and press enter, I can get the name associated with this phone number. So that's how you can use a combination of the match and index functions to look up specific values from a data table. Now you might say that this is a two-step process, while VLOOKUP does all of this in a single step. The answer is that even the index match operation can be done in one single step. In the index function, instead of using cell H5 for the row number, I can simply type out the match function here itself. Let me demonstrate. So I can write equal to index. Now the first argument is the data table. The second argument is the row number. For this argument, we can use the match function. So I can write, and now we enter the third argument for the index function, which is the column number. The column number in this case should be 2. And if I close the bracket and press enter, you can see that we have obtained the name of the person associated with this phone number. So basically, we have combined the index and the match functions into one single step. So that's how you can use a combination of index match to replace the VLOOKUP function. And with that, we have come to an end of the discussion on lookup functions. Hope you enjoyed this video and thanks for watching.